Peace, yo. It's end of the day, man. It's almost 8 o'clock. I'm whipped. That garage sale thing took the gas and energy right out of me. I do have more, though. I did not take you through the cabinets and show you some of the stuff that's hidden underneath there. Yeah, there's more. Believe it or not, there's more. Most of the stuff on the other side of the garage where I didn't show you was new tires. That's all my stuff. I'm not going to sell any new tires. And there is a set of Mojo Reigns over there. I think I mentioned those in one of the other videos. I'd be willing to get rid of those. But most everything else is complimentary, like the other RVS engine. That's the sister motor to the one that's on the Blue Demon project cart in the trailer. Like I said, it had water in it just in the bottom end, and it froze over the winter, and it cracked. It cracked into the gear case, so water and oil are mixing and causing a problem, so we couldn't use the bottom end anymore. But all the gears and shafts are still good. I think most of the clutch is still good. I may have borrowed a part or two. The shifting mechanism, all that stuff's there. The crank, the rod is off the crank, but it's rebuildable. You can rebuild those cranks. I use the Mondo cart. What do they call it? I call it's aftermarket. They call it generic or something. But I use the Mondo cart, rod, bearing, washers, all that stuff. They turn 14, 15 grand without a problem on a KZ ICC. So I haven't had any trouble with the quality of those parts, and they're super cheap. You know, like I said, you can get rebuild parts for your crank, $100. $100. Everything's $100, right? You just got to find somebody to do it for you. The engine that's on the cart right now, Brian Fisher did that crank. Again, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. Hour and a half at the most, I think. I'd have to look at my notes, but there's no time on that motor, on that crank, on those bearings, and on that top end. The CR125 I mentioned has a brand new piston in it, although that cylinder does have a piece of Nikasil missing from it. The rest of the cylinder, the rest of the Nikasil looks great. It's just one little piece of it peeled off, and it is above the ports, so it's in a place where you're not going to be able to cheat it. Let's see, what else did I screw up? Yeah, I can't. I mean, I've been watching all this stuff as it's uploading. I'll bring you a couple more, maybe tomorrow, of some of the stuff that's in the cabinets. We have some Renspeed parts that we're not going to use. The front wheel, the front hub, brake hub, the rotor and hub is not a hub that's adjustable on a false axle, kind of like all the rest of the modern day stuff. You'd have to put shims behind the wheel on the hub. It's old school, right? So I'm not going to use those. It's a nice piece though, and it has a CRG pattern. You could 86 the rotor and not use it if you just wanted to use it as a spindle mount type of hub. We got some stuff like that. We got brakes and masters and stuff that. Really, that old stuff, they weren't master cylinders, they were slave cylinders. There was no reservoir. If it doesn't have a reservoir, it's not a master cylinder. It can only push what's in it. And as the pads wear, you end up getting filled with air. So you have to continually add fluid because it doesn't have a reservoir. So that is known as a slave cylinder. The old school stuff, before they got wise and added a reservoir to the thing and called it a master. I've got those. I hate those. I don't even use them. I've got all the brakes calipers. I'm not sure if I mean I rebuilt it all, and I put braided lines, the jumper lines. I replaced all the lines and stuff. I'm gonna try to use those on the cart, but if anybody's got an older cart that would want to kind of stay with the older stuff and the bolt patterns the same, I'd be interested in selling that. So we'll show you all that stuff that's in that white, those dual white cabinets underneath the RPM banner back there. We probably got a 30 millimeter carburetor or two that we could get rid of. What else do we got? That I didn't show you. Yeah, I mean, that's all I can think of right off the top of my head. Lots of American pattern wheels, 5-inch stuff. Nobody wants 5-inch anymore since Dunlop kind of bailed out on the U.S. So, but there's stuff up there with tires. I mean, it'd be good for you could jazz up your pit wagon with cool go-kart wheels and tires. And I got a boatload. I mean, you probably got a boatload of this stuff too. So, we'll inevitably we'll end up scrapping the wheels. I mean, they'll give us full aluminum price on those wheels as long as we take the valve stems out. So we don't want to do that, but we will if we have to. That's it for Saturday, the June the 21st. I kept saying the 11th or the 21st. I'm poopy tired. I'm gonna give you something to eat. I'm gonna finish uploading these videos. Y'all happy shopping. Godspeed and God bless. Talk to you later.